So, TikTok is officially being banned. Creators have a right to mourn over it. Not only did the banning of TikTok deprive a lot of people of their small businesses, with over 1 million people relying on TikTok to promote said small businesses. For a lot of us, myself included, who are disabled, especially those of us who are disabled advocates, doing a lot of unpaid labor to educate people, that labor has now just become even more unpaid. And I'm still going to continue what I do. I'm still going to keep making the content that I make here on YouTube and Instagram. But that doesn't change the grief that I'm feeling in my heart over the loss of the TikTok autism community. I've talked a lot about my criticisms of TikTok's autism community, and while I still think those criticisms are valid, I don't think it can be understated the importance of autism TikTok when it comes to autism advocacy. Before autism TikTok, in order to find other autistic people, in order to find an online community, you had to search for it. It was not accessible to everyone. I did not meet another autistic person until I was already an adult. I did not have a community of autistic people until I found Autism TikTok in 2020. Before then, I was autistic on my own. I had no support. I had no understanding of what being autistic meant for me because no one ever explained it to me. Everything I learned about myself as an autistic person, I learned from other autistic people and autism specialists who were now so readily accessible to me. And now that's just gone. And that really sucks. That really, really sucks. So many people online are saying that, oh, all of these influencers have to go out and get a real job now. Why are we crying? Okay, for one, real jobs are not accessible to everyone. Not only am I a grad student, and now likely won't be able to afford her degree, but many disabled people face such limitations due to their disability that a real job is not accessible to them. For many autistic people, a real job is not accessible. And even with those real jobs, most of them do not pay a living wage. And for many people online, this was a way to supplement their income so that they could afford to pay their bills. And that's just gone. And I worry about the isolation that will come from this. Because the autism community on TikTok, while it definitely had its problems, it was still a community. And it was the first time in the mainstream that autistic people were at the center of the conversation around autism. When I got my diagnosis back in 2011, most people I interacted with in my day-to-day life had never even heard of autism and relied on me, somebody who didn't know what it meant, to educate them on it. And because I didn't know what it meant, I couldn't. And so they would turn to other sources, most of which are blogs run by non-autistic parents of autistic children. And while that is still advocacy in and of itself, I don't want to diminish the works that many of them have done. It led to a lot of misinformation that Autism TikTok worked so hard to fight for, because it centered the light and the discussion of autism around childhood. But what happens when the autistic child becomes an autistic adult? And you may think to yourself, well, you can just go to Instagram and YouTube and continue to do the same thing. And I will, don't get me wrong. But all of these other platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the conversation of autism is still largely dominated by non-autistic people. And they still spread just as much misinformation, if not more. And that will be so much harder now for us to fight against, because they've been doing this for a lot longer. So they have more of a platform and they have a much tighter knit community. So when autistic people say that we are devastated about the loss of Autism TikTok, this is not something trivial to us. This is a lifeline. a lifeline that has now been severed, and we didn't have a choice in severing it. And again, that just sucks. I can't tell you how many people have messaged me, emailed me, commented in my comment section saying that I helped them find their autism diagnosis. And for all of you who allowed me to be a part of your autism journey, I just want to say thank you for allowing me that privilege. Thank you for including me in your spaces. And even if you never see my face again because you're not on TikTok or you're not on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, I still believe in you. I still have every faith in you. And I hope that the lessons that I've given you can be enough to keep carrying on if I'm not there for you.